Hello, good morning, good evening. Welcome to another episode. Okay, before I proceed, I wanted to let you guys know that yesterday I recorded a 29-minute session, which was, by the way, like incomplete. Okay, and I had so many things to talk about in that session. And then some things happened at work. I had my one on one at work, and one thing led to another. I got some revelations. The one on one was scheduled for an hour. It actually went for like 1.5, 2 hours. And so, yeah. And then again in the evening, I had some work related meeting, and again, some more revelations, which made me realize that I'm really lagging behind. And so, I mean, like I mentioned, over the weekend and past 9, 10 days, so many things had happened personally and professionally that I wanted to talk about. And I wanted to like pick up the personal things a little later this week, talk about work related things. Yet something just triggered yesterday, and I was so high on emotions, and I wanted to record that episode. It was actually about my mom, and yes, mom issues. Boom, we were finally there. In fact, when I recorded that, I mentioned that I wanted to do this later, but I'm doing it today because it's related to my mom. And let's face it, all of us have mom issues. But then with because again, the first person we had to blame to for everything that's going wrong in our lives is our mom. But then how we see the world, like as soon as this picture gets bigger, we realize that's the least of our problems. And actually that's not even a problem at all. Especially when I'm a mother now, I know that's nothing literally. But because I was just so high on some emotion, basically my mom was supposed to come visit us during her summer vacation, bring my dog here and everything. But then just yesterday, I got to know that that time has now cut short. Like she was not going to be here for even for 2 months, and now she might not be here even for like a month. So that's the thing. Okay, so that's what really bugged me, and I was telling her that hey, you probably be working for just this next 1 year or a couple of more years, so it's okay, you can take some leave. She works in a private school, so they don't have like a proper system of having a local private school basically, so they don't have a proper system of having CLs and annual leaves and sick leaves and whatnot. So it's like if they need leave and if they have a good coverage, they can take it. So for my wedding, she took a month long leave. For when I had my baby, she took another month long leave, which like in her profession and between her colleagues is like a big deal. Now all I'm telling her is just delay joining the school by 5, 6 days. So basically a week, and let them know that you had your tickets pre-booked, so it's okay. And she's like, not just that, see, they by they I mean the manager of the school, they have helped us in our difficult times as well. This is not their policy, but they're still doing this. So this is against my principles. I don't want to do this now because usually like our principals are they he gets mad when somebody takes leaves right when the school reopens. And I told her that, Mom, please let him know it's okay. I mean, it's okay to change your morals, but then, again, that conversation. I mean, so basically, like my mom and I, we don't like fight on these things. One of us goes, Mom, that's our fight language, unlike what happens in my house, in my current household. But anyway, so but then so I understood the silence, and I'm like, okay, it's fine. And then I stopped talking to her, but then it really pissed me off. And so I started talking about her and everything that went haywire in my life, in her life. And there was still stuff that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't get to like talking about it anytime in the day. And there were other things, like I mentioned, bigger things. And so I just deleted that recording. So here we are today. I will first start with, so yeah, we are going to be talking about work, but I will first start with some happy things. So yesterday's day before yesterday, like in the night when I was done with my work, and my daughter was back with me, because usually when I'm in my meetings and everything, her grandparents babysit her. So yeah, she was back with me, and then we were dancing, and for the first time, she like, yeah, she's 16 months now, and every time I'll make her wear her sunglasses, she'll just pause, but then she'll take them off. but day before yesterday, she started enjoying that process. And so, like late in the night, both her and I, we both are wearing our sunglasses, and she's like now asking me to like make her wear my sunglasses, and then she's giving me her sunglasses to make her wear those and all that. It's such a cute thing. Like yesterday, what happened is, so when she was like some months old, my husband and I, we like every alternate day or at least every work day, post my work, we'll just play some songs, some random songs, and we'll just dance or do something. You know, she wouldn't dance, but like she'll just enjoy all of that energy. So it's been such a long time since we've done that. So now we did that yesterday again, just her and I. I mean, we play songs and everything, yes, and now she started picking up on a lot of songs. My husband introduced her to Chaya Chaya because we know, like, kids our generation, basically 90s kids, we have had, every one of us have had some toy which would have that Chaya Chaya jingle embedded into it. But kids these days will not have any such thing and will not understand the emotions of Chaya Chaya played at a 2x speed. So we wanted to introduce her to that, and my husband did that, and she picked up on it, and so now she knows Chaya Chaya. So she still, sometimes she says, but most of the time she still doesn't say Alexa. She'll just point at it, she'll just look at it, or she'll just keep walking towards it, saying the song she wants to play, looks at us, looks at Alexa, and says the song Chaya Chaya. But yeah, I mean, so that's the thing. So just yesterday, when some songs were playing in the background on Alexa, and she was like just sitting on the bed playing with her toys and all of that, and I was standing there, I was just encouraging her that let's dance, let's do this, let's do that. She just said something. So APT by Rose and Bruno Mars is the first ever song that she could, pronounce. I think she was some months old, 8 or 9 months old, is when I was on a call with video call with one of my best friends. And on that call, we identified that, oh, she's seeing Apate. So, and then like now that she's 16 months old, like just double that age, she started to like, Apate has phased out a little bit, and only sometimes it pops in. So again, from this weekend, she started asking for Apate again. And so yesterday she was saying like she wanted me to play Apate, and she started with that. But then because now she knows a lot of words, she wants to talk about a lot of things. She mumbled something which sounded like apde pode. Of course, you know what I played then. And like right from when the music started, you know how Apni Pode's music starts, there's like a slow entry, and then there's just these fast beats. My god, her face just lit up. So I mean, I want to be a trained dancer, or at least a trained classical dancer. I have had a month's training in Kathak, but I could not take it forward. I hope someday with my daughter I'll get to resume that. But then I have loved dancing. Like I pray dancing. To this day, like I'm 33, I'm going to be 33 now. I'm not 33. But to this day, if I'm given any opportunity to dance or think about dancing, I will be thinking about dancing when I'm sleeping, when I'm in the washroom, when I'm traveling, like all the times. You know, even when I'm working, I'll have some playlist on just to shortlist the songs that we can dance on. So I just like pray, inhale, live, dance, you know. And back when, so I'm a North Indian, and so back when in school or in colleges, I used to enjoy dancing on these a little bit South Indian songs that were introduced to our media. Uh, and you know, we used to think that wow, like all my friends who would like that genre, we used to like enjoy ourselves, and we used to think that wow, we are these North Indian, South Indian dancing chicks. Until I moved to south of India for my further studies and then later for my job, and I realized we were nothing. Like my God, these Tollywood songs, or I don't know which particular or like all combined movie fraternity that these songs belong to. There is a different type of latka chatka which moves every muscle bone of your body, and you still look gracious and expressive on your face. That level of latka jhatka, if I am doing, I can only do it once, even with like pre-work in and then later cooling down and all sorts of things. So yeah, we didn't do any of those things. But then the music is still amazing. I mean, there's no denying that. And I just saw that vibe on my daughter's face. I don't care if she picks up dancing or not, or if she enjoys it. I know that this is going to be a mandate at home, like a weekly or a monthly. No, I don't think I can extend it to a month. It's going to be a weekly activity where we are going to be dancing on songs and these mass Bollywood Indian cinema or whatever wood numbers. Because gosh, the music is so high, and no matter how bad you feel, no matter how bad your day or week was, I know this is going to be a family fun activity which will have like physical movement, because those are the kind of activities that you usually don't find to like spend time with your family, which also don't cost. Like you don't have to go to a play zone or something. So I'm gonna do that. On that happy note, let's move to like a really sad note. I mean, sad, I don't know. Anyway, so I had my one-on-one with my manager, and since like last year, which is Q4 2025, she's been compelling me to like work on AI ideas, automate things, and all of that. And I'm like, yeah, 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 we'll see. Now this quarter Q1, she again pressurized me for the same. And then I had a clear talk with her that these things will happen, like they will keep on happening, and when it comes to that, I will like do that. But do I want to, I mean, just dive into that? No, there are so many things, so many process loops, falls that we have right now, and I want to work on all of those. uh we did, I mean, we were proceeding with that. So I think my relationship with my manager wasn't good by last year, even beginning this year, but it has started to improve now. Okay, to the point that yesterday we actually bitched about our teammate. You know who? Papita and Pratik. So, because again, she's also North Indian, and I mean, okay, work wise, she's my manager. She probably is getting some pressure from like top down, and so she's just doing the same to us. Okay, and whenever I talk to her about career growth and all of that, we are not taking that seriously, because let's face it, no one in my team, like under my L6, even my L6, he moved to a team, I think 4 5. I mean, I think in August last year, and July is when I resumed back from my maternity. But he has been in the same company at the same level for quite some time, like at least 4 years. So again, none of us have grown up, like grown in our careers, in our roles for at least last 3 years. So to that, I mean, yeah, it's very clear that growth's very lean right now. But there's still people who are getting promoted, and I just feel that, and like a lot of people did tell me that the level that I am in right now, if I have to grow from this to the next level, it is comparatively easier than the ones after this, and all of it lies in the hands of your manager. So I'm not somebody who can, like, I mean, I cannot be sweet to you for my own sake or something. Like, I have to be honest with you. And, but with time, what I've learned in this is that if I have to be honest, but I cannot like dug my own grave, I can be honest to a level. So I don't have to tell you on your face that, hey, you're not a good person, or you're bitching about us, or you're just talking in a different language, just making us feel bad, or you're not being a good manager, you don't keep transparency, I think you are giving biased favors to others and all of that. I don't have to say all of that. What I can do is I can be honest about my work and my relationship with the person that I'm talking to. So, and I feel this is something that I've learned with the passage of time, and I think nobody could have taught this to me, because I have been heartbroken a lot of times, because whatever I do, be it super excited, be it talking a lot, be it talking too fast, or obsessing over something, I do all of that with like all honesty. Like that's my actual nature, and with like a lot of things that I have come across, the articles I've read, I realize that this is also something to do with like some sort of a mental instability. And I know if I take like proper therapy, I'll get diagnosed with something. Sometimes I feel I have ADHD, sometimes I feel I have hyperactive, I think BPD. But like I don't know, obviously. So until and I don't want to like self-diagnose things, because okay, things are any which way working fine, and I feel nobody is like in a state where their mind is somewhere is not somewhere else when they're doing something. And I don't think there's anyone in life who has a situation where they don't have to meet with difficult times. So for example, if I weren't married right now, like my biggest difficulty of life right now is to live with my in-laws, because of like the differences in our opinions and thoughts, and like lifestyle. um, but if I were unmarried right now, I would have been sad, and I think probably by this time like if I would have been still unmarried by this time, I would have like tried to adopt a kid or do something like that, and that would have made me sad because adoption is not that easy. The process is really long, and they also scrutinize who's adopting, so they'll just try to do your research and all of that. And I don't know, probably for some reasons I might not even get into the list. So again, difficulties could be of any kind. They will keep on coming, and for me the biggest thing is, if you think that there's a loop in your life of things, like if you soon end up thinking that, "Oh, this always happens with me," or something like that, there's something wrong with you. Like there's some lesson that your life is trying to teach you, and you're not taking that lesson. So anywho, so I have basically come to a point where I have now started to have like a cordial relationship with my manager. We understand each other. We are able to communicate things well, to the point that there are people on our team who are like treating us as outsiders, but then at least the two of us can be on the same level. I'm not saying that we are, and this is from her end as well. Like we are not together because, or together, or we are not gelling up because we are from a different place. We're gelling up because that's how our relationship as a manager and subordinate has transformed. Like we have been vocal. There has been a time where she cancelled my leave on email, like just said that I cannot approve that and all of that. Last year, just when we've moved to Hyderabad, where I had already communicated it to her that that's how it's going to happen. So I may or may not take a leave, and I just like looped in her manager, basically my skip, and her skip. So basically, our leader into that email. It almost looked like an escalation. There's nothing that I heard back on that email, but I did that. And after that, we didn't speak about this, or I didn't like. I have my one-on-ones with my skip, and I didn't speak about this even with him. Um so again, I feel as individuals, so because this is also her first time being a people manager, I feel as individuals, even she's learning, I'm learning, and so that's how things are maturing now. Anyway, but in yesterday's one-on-one, so we were very candid with each other. We also were at a point where she did not promise me anything, but for the first time ever since I started reporting under her, and this is I think the fourth quarter that I'm reporting under her, this is the first time that she from herself, like from her end, in our one-on-one, mentioned that just go through the job leveling guidelines. I'm not promising anything. Don't get your hopes high. Just assess yourself and see how you want to proceed with this. So, and the way she said that, it just felt like she's only having this conversation with me, like from her end. I'm pretty sure after our summit last week, all other reports of hers are going to talk to her about this. But yeah, next we spoke about AI related things. Now, the other two people and other two individuals on my team are already involved with something which they have developed from like the AI standpoint. I have solved for issues. I have ideas that we need to get this developed, but I have not developed anything on myself, like on my own. And so in that connect, I asked her that you give me a genuine feedback, which she did. She mentioned that there are two things that I'm not currently up to the speed. One is writing, which again not any like no one else is. So yeah, writing is one thing. Writing documents and presenting things. It cannot just be about process documents. It has to be problem statements and solving for them. So that's one thing. Another thing is AI related initiatives. Like you have ideas, you have to work on them. And so we spoke like very candidly. We spoke about. I told her that I have reached out to this person and asked for their help, and she's like, "No, then it's going to be counted in his initiative. You need to get something on yours." And again, this was her being very candid, and so I understood like the urgency of the matter. You know what? Now I can. So again, I can choose. And even in our one-on-one, I told her that I am that person who like these days there's a water bowl for animals outside our building, and I see it's almost empty. Like almost every time that I've seen it, it's empty. So I want to like pour water into it. Now, when I have to catch my cab to come to work in the mornings, I can't do that. I don't have enough time. That's what I thought for the first time. This is what I'm going to do. But the same day, there's this another idea that occurred to me, and I also told my husband, "Can you please do it?" Because I couldn't, and even he couldn't. Like he was also getting that day, a lot late that day, and like my daughter was being very clingy to him, so he was late. But then the same day, while returning from office, I just realized that how would I fill my water bottle from work, so I don't really have to like lift my bag because it'll get heavy because of the water bottle, and as soon as I get down, I will pour water in the bowl, and that's what I did, and that trick is working for me. Like no one's getting late because of me. I'm not getting late, and I'm doing what I really want to do. I really wanted to do this activity with my daughter as well. Like I wanted to bring her down in the evening with a water bottle and wanted her to pour water into that as well. But that's not happening right now because by the time I get free, I am so freaking tired because I have not slept in like last 5 days, and essentially in last 3 days I have not slept well. I'll talk about this later, some part of motherhood. But so yeah, by the time I get free, I'm like every day I think that I will take her down for a walk or something, but I'm not able to. So yeah, maybe in a couple of weeks, or maybe when my parents come, I'll get the time. Let's see. Who knows? So yeah, I want to do this activity with my daughter as well. And so this is what I was telling my manager, that that's the kind of person I am. I know this AI thingy, it's not good for the world. There are villages that, and again, I don't get time to read that much. I have taken this download from my husband. There are villages in US, even in India, in like Jharkhand and Bihar and UP, the people are like asked to vacate, and they're paid some amount of money, but they are asked to vacate that so that there can be these data centers type of places to store all the data because of all the crappy things that we keep doing on AI. I mean, that's the thing that all of this data, all of these crappy things are not useful, but they also need space to be stored on, and like there are resources, natural resources that are needed to maintain these places, and that's where our water and everything is going to go, and it's going to deplete. And I don't know, like right now my daughter gets time every night before sleeping. At this age she loves water play. Before sleeping she gets to have another bath, where before her bath I give her time to play with the water and all of that. And this one day my husband was asking during this last weekend that should we do this, I mean it's okay I think. And I'm like, no, let her do this. At least right now she has water to play with. I don't know by the time she's our age if there will be enough water left in the world, because that's true. So anyway, I was just complaining about this to to my manager. I was just telling her that this is how I look at life. I'm one of those people who try to like I don't use ACs until my husband comes in or is about to come in, because there are my plants right near the AC outlet, and because of all of that hot air, they are getting disrupted, and this happens like all the time, and not just like our AC, like everyone's AC is running. So I'm like, I cannot ask people to like not use AC. I will not use it as long as I can survive it. Yesterday it was really, really hot here, hot and humid, because I think it's gonna rain in a couple of days. And then there was a point right after my work where I realized that it's very hot, and because of that, I think my daughter wasn't having her dinner. So I turned on the AC for a while, and then she did eat, and even I ate. And so yeah, I mean, I do have to do these things, because now it's not just about myself, but I'm just waiting until I can make my daughter aware of all of these things and the repercussions, and how people were able to survive without these things, and so we can also do that, or if there are alternatives or other things that we can do. So for example, we have to now buy another AC for our house, and my husband and I are constantly having this discussion that even though we don't have the budget, we are not going to go below 4 star, because we don't want to, like, you know what. Anyways, so resources and whatnot. So yeah, that's a discussion that I had with my manager, and I'm like, I will have to now like invest some time in learning these things, like go a little deeper and learn a little bit of tech stuff as well, though I am not willing to, because I am a non-tech person. I work in that kind of a team and in that kind of an environment, and I was hired for this kind of a job. If I was a tech person, I would have applied in a different work stream altogether. Anyway, so here's my point. If we are to, I mean, first of all, again, it'll take me some time, I know, and digest it and vomit some AI stuff out. But it's made to me very clear by my manager and her manager, which is basically my skip, that no matter what process improvements or whatnot we do, if I do not, so there are AI interfaces that we have where you just need to give prompt and you'll get something in return. Then there is some other tool wherein you also need to know a little bit of these tech things like lambdas and whatnot. Like just yesterday, after that discussion with my manager, I've downloaded something known as Python in my system. Like it's a software app that's available with like the free softwares that my uh, company grants for us to use. So I've just done that. And I was doing like all of these other setups where I'm just taking some command prompt from like a step by step guide, pasting it into something known as a foreign name, phone sheller, or I don't know what it was. But things like that. So, and again, I don't know these things. I don't want to go to the depth of these things. That's the whole point. That's why I'm in a non-tech role. But I'm really saddened by the fact that that's how the team looks at. And again, a lot of it is to do with how others in the team are doing, and so the future that we see for them. And if that's the case, and so because my skip has also come from like a semi-tech sort of a role, like he, okay, I can't disclose that. Anyway, so I mean I can disclose it. It's just that I don't want to, like, because this is a anonymous kind of a podcast. But so yeah, that's a space where he is comfortable, right? And so when he hears somebody from the team using such things, he feels really happy. And I get it that in like a non-tech job role where you are basically, because if it's a tech or semi-tech job role, you would have to pay a little better, but you're getting some things done. Obviously everybody to the top is going to appreciate that. And again, when all of these layoffs happen in the big firms, especially the ones who are housed in Canada or USA, the first firings were of proper tech teams that stay there. That's so sad because they sought for a lot of things and they shouldn't have been asked to like let go. Like they shouldn't have been let go. But yeah, this is what has happened. So that saddened me a lot, and like I was so tired. My husband convinced me to take a leave today. At some point, even I might have thought of it, but then I just didn't because I know that I am planning something later in like later this quarter, and like there are a lot of things that I need to solve for and deliver, and so I'm like, it's okay. I'll do this. That's a challenge that I'll take. And I'll work on it. Actually, I don't think I've still accepted this challenge like Barney, but I'm exploring it. So that's that. That's how the narrative of non-tech teams is changing, I feel. Because not just me, like I see people that I know who are again from non-tech background are in such teams from different teams, and I see even they are now like exploring these options. They are also in such master classes and all of that. So this is something that's been gnawing on me, and yeah, work-wise it's so heavy that I'll have to learn something which like I could have paid while I was studying and chosen that line of studies, but I did not because I wasn't that interested. But now here we are. I don't know if I'm supposed to treat it as an opportunity or like because I also feel until you'll put yourself in a situation, you'll never be able to see what you can do. You can only think of it that you can't do it, or you can only think of it that you can do it until you are in that situation. And sometimes when you are in such situations, like say now that I'm in a team like this, there are still some teams, like there's some stakeholders that I connect with who have still not adopted to a lot of these what do I say, um, automated processes, like very easy ones, right? And so there are teams that are still surviving with all of that, but now I am in a team where everyone's like up to speed and a little ahead. So maybe that's what I am here for, like to be in an environment like this so that I am also like a little ahead of a lot of other people that are here in my organization. So you don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for listening to this one. I think we'll come up with an episode soon about mommy issues. Have a good day.